Hello, everyone. This is James Song here. Welcome to the TOEFL Show. This is TOEFL Show episode 1. So we are actually going into the learning materials of TOEFL test in detail. So without further ado, let's get started. And let's get straight into it. So this is a passage. It's the very first paragraph of the passage. And it will continue, second paragraph, third paragraph, as a part of one single passage. Okay, so today we're going to cover question type number 1, factual question. So let's read the passage first. Two species of the deer have been prevalent. So prevalent must be a part of your TOEFL vocabulary. It means common or widespread. Okay. In the Puget Sound area, Washington State, in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Okay, tell me about the two types. The black-tailed deer, first type, lowland west side cousin of the mule deer of the East Washington, is now the most common. Okay, so black-tailed deer, now at present, most common, most popular out of two species. So what's the other species? The other species, the Columbian white-tailed deer, okay? So black-tailed, white-tailed. In the earlier times was, so in the past, common in the open prairie country. So they were the most popular type in this habitat, but that's the past. Okay? It is now restricted to the low marsh islands and floodplains along the lower Columbia River. I'm sorry. So it's a semicolon here, but still, it's almost like a but because it says was common somewhere before in the past, but now, right now, not was. It is not in the open prairie country. White-tailed deer live in restricted area, which means within the boundary of low and marsh islands and floodplains. Okay? So they don't live in the open prairie country anymore. They did, and it was quite common, but now they don't live in open prairie. They are restricted, set within the boundary of this habitat, which is not the same as open prairie. Okay, so it's the first time, so I may be covering a little bit more detail than you would have liked, but I just want to do a good job and do it thoroughly. So let's write a quick note of first paragraph here. So black-tailed deer is most common now, and they have their own habitat. It was written there, lowland and something. And white-tailed deer was common in open prairie, but now they are restricted in different habitat, not open prairie. It was low and marsh island, wasn't it? Right? Yeah, so that's pretty much complete note for the whole paragraph, I feel. So let's move up and let's solve this question. Okay, according to paragraph 1, which of the following is true? So by looking at this, we know it is factual question type. So as you read the question, you need to be able to identify which question type it is, okay? To use strategy to tackle TOEFL. True of white-tailed deer of the Puget Sound. So we need to choose the right information of the white-tailed deer. So probably 99%, it will come out from this area here, right? Okay, number 1, it's native to lowland and marshes. So it comes from originally, so again, Should be part of your TOEFL vocabulary. If you don't know this word. So native means, originally, originally from, okay? So whitetail originally to this habitat. No, they're from originally where? Where are they from? Open prairie, right? Okay, so A is the wrong answer. I mean, there are a couple other things that A is wrong. I mean, I could tell you all about it. Lowland is obviously, as you can see here, the habitat of the black-tailed deer. Like low and marsh islands are not same as lowland. Okay, okay. Low marsh island is not lowland, right? So it's different. It's a habitat of the black-tailed deer, not white-tail. So it's wrong in other areas, but it's not native to lowland. Okay, white-tailed deer is native to where? Open prairie. Okay. It is more closely related to the mule deer of the eastern Washington than to other types of deer. So, not deer, sorry. So, this is right here, right? If you remember, black-tailed deer, cousin of mule deer. So, black-tailed deer is more closely related to the mule deer than white-tailed deer because there's no mentioning of relationship with other deer for white-tailed, right? So this is exactly opposite because they are asking what is true about white-tailed, but B is correct for black-tailed, as it shows in here. 3, C. It has replaced the black-tailed deer in the open prairie. Very basic, but still, let's be thorough. Notice the grammar. It has replaced, so means it replaced from the past until right now. Has replaced, right? But it's wrong in 2 things. First of all, white-tailed deer was common, but now it's restricted. So it's not more prevalent than in the past. So probably it has not replaced anything. But to be simpler, more directly, there's no mentioning of white-tailed deer replace the black-tailed deer in the open prairie. There's no mentioning of that. And third, they don't live in the open prairie anymore. They're restricted to this smaller area. But it has replaced. So it's from the past till now. White-tailed deer live in the open prairie to replace the black-tailed doesn't make any sense. They don't live in the open prairie anymore, so they couldn't possibly replace any other deer. So it's wrong in so many ways. Okay. All right, D better be right, otherwise I'll be in trouble. It. So what is it? Let's be careful. White-tailed deer. Okay, so white-tailed deer no longer lives in a particular type of habitat. Yeah, so was common in open prairie country, but now not, restricted to other area. So white-tailed deer no longer lives in if the particular type of habitat refers to the open prairie country. This is correct so far. That it once occupied. Yeah, is correct. Because they did live in, reside in the open prairie before, because they were common white-tailed deer in open prairie, as it's written here. But how about now? Not anymore. Not anymore, because they don't live in open prairie. They are restricted to within the boundary of low marsh islands and floodplains. So D is spot on. So because it's first class, I mean, this is for everyone who's looking for the 120 out of 120, 30 reading score out of 30 to, you know, people who want to score higher than 15 out of 30 in reading. This class is for everyone, you know, beginner to the most advanced. So let me just be a little bit more detailed and kind of double check your understanding by writing notes for you. So D is correct because white-tailed deer once occupied did live in open prairie before, but not anymore. Where? In open prairie. Okay, so they did live in open prairie country before, but not anymore. They're restricted to the low marsh islands and floodplains. Sorry, I'm repeating myself 3 times just to confirm your understanding. Okay, so that's done. So that's the factual question done and dusted. So probably we can do the summary of what we learned in a conceptual sense. So question type number 1, factual question. Answer is explicitly and directly given from the passage. Okay, there's no secret here, no indirectiveness or vagueness. It's very straightforward. So you just need to go and find out the exact answer. Okay, so it's a true or false question, as I said. So at the end of the day, it's matching correct information from answer choice that matches information in the passage. So that's it, guys. That's the question type 1. And it was a factual question. So next video, I'll cover another question type of the reading section of the TOEFL test. Okay, thank you very much for your time. And that's it. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you, guys. Bye.